Hey everyone, so we are currently in Powder Springs, Georgia at Treasure Hunt Antique Mall. It took me a second. Still, I guess, waking up this morning. One of my favorite antique shops, so thought I would film, see what we can find along the way. Literally just got back from Iowa earlier this week, so let's see what we can find. Now, I've been coming to this one for about 2 or 3 years, which I absolutely adore. As we go in, there is always a pleasant array of vintage. I always tend to go all the way back and kind of make my way through. Plus, I always kind of like to start on the side of the toy vendor, I must admit. So there's a pretty good mix, a lot of more contemporary, more vintage. Check out these huge platforms. Honestly, if they were my size, I probably would have bought them. Those were major. Kind of given Miss Karma from JoJo. Loved the Big Eye print. Actually had a few of those. But for $18 each, decided to pass. I did notice this Earl Bernard bank. Absolutely love the maker of these. Cute / creepy dolls. Some of those were actually reproductions. And honestly, I always like to walk this antique store through twice. One going one way, one going the other, just so I don't miss anything. I do notice these fun dolls. They have been here the entirety I have started shopping here. They have the eBay listing, so they're like retail, but cute little Mickey Mouse Club. Love the old new stock watches. And does anybody remember Littlest Pet Shop? I used to love those things. And this is a relatively new vendor. Have a ton of more contemporary vintage Barbie, some vintage My Little Pony. Really fun to see. And I don't remember the names of those, but I do have vivid memories playing with the bendy guys. But did have a few Barbie fashions, which honestly the prices weren't bad. And they had a Ken outfit, pretty cute. But I went kind of crazy over these Barbie keychains. Ended up buying myself 1 or 2, and then ended up finding one for resale. So I think that actually already found a home, but go check out the Etsy. I think these actually came out in the 90s, if I do believe so. We got Solo in the Spotlight, and I do believe Poodle Parade. Love the Magic Planet coloring book. Oh my gosh, these were actually like giant. So don't really come across coloring books that size, but just the graphics alone, oh my gosh. And it's so funny, I actually have this exact same little flower print in my room. Granted, I don't think mine's behind glass. And always love to show off this vendor. They always have some really good mid-century. Have a lot of glassware, which I know nothing about. I know that like purple vases are a little bit more on the rare side, especially when they're the swung vases. But other than that, good luck. We are here at one of my favorite places, the Toy Realm. They actually have I think, bi-monthly toy swap meet, which I've been to. Primarily like action figures from what I remember, but never hurts to look. Did love those like pup banks. Some more. Guys, I've gotten some Barbie out of the case before when he has it. And he does always have some vintage troll dolls, which I always love. Those are definitely from my childhood. The old trolls. And here is actually that swap meet I was talking about. So if anyone's ever in Georgia, come on by. So we are going on the rest of the store. Did spot these awesome chalkware wall hangers. Really fun. Some wrestling action figures. Again, don't really know anything about wrestling, but they're kind of fun besides like Hulk Hogan, I guess. Did find this awesome little rubber face plush. This one has already found a home over on Whatnot. Of course, you got to have some Fiesta wear in any antique store you visit, so we have a good selection. And loved this cute little Big Eye figurine. He was pretty cute. Would have originally had little babies. Now, I thought this was actually vintage at first, but it totally wasn't. It was this like little Curious George pinball machine. Did really love the kind of Mary Mushroom-esque looking canisters. Loved the little long neck kitty pin holder. Very sweet. Now, you guys know I love a good anthropomorphic moment, but these were something. A little terrifying. I think these were like planters actually, which looking back at it, they are pretty fun. Did find this cute little like cowboy duck. He was really interesting. Had some wear on him, as you can see, around his knees, but really cool nonetheless. And again, one of my favorite vendors, always has some terrific mid-century. Almost bought this kitten, but I realized she had a neck crack. Picked up this little cake topper though. He was really adorable. Loved the coloring. And that pink shelf to the left, I actually bought one last time I was there, so it was cool to see that she had more. But yeah, some really great mid-century. If you're ever in the lookout for it, highly recommend Treasure Hunt. Love the wall hanger. And the cute little pixie guy. This guy is actually currently up in the Etsy shop. And I geeked out over these little Kittle dolls. Always great to see. I ended up getting a bag of them, which I was very happy about. I always try to pick up Kittles when I can. I'm a big Kittle collector, so it's always fun to see them out and about. Some more. I think speaking of Kittles, there was that other Kittle case. The little green one. I think they made a pink version of that one actually. Some more other little Kitsch. Star Wars galore, which I know not too much about, but I know my Uncle Will is a huge fan of. More action figures. Again, unless they wear cute mod fashions, I don't really know much about them. But it is kind of fun to see them. There are some like scary looking ones in the best possible way, of course. And then of course more Star Wars. Got Chewbacca back there. I do know him. And going into one of my, again, other favorite vendors. Always has great kitsch, some mid-century sprinkled in there. Always a fun time to look through. Just always want to shout out when I see a booth that is immaculately set together. I know it takes a lot, so huge shout out to anyone who puts in the time and hours. Honestly, really loved this flower lucite bag. For $18, not a bad price at all. And did end up picking up this cute little squeak guy. I think he's currently up in the Etsy shop too. And they did have some really fun vintage lunch boxes. Always on the hunt for a Twiggy one or Barbie, not gonna lie. And I feel like in every video, if they have one of these, I always show off these displays. They still like mesmerize me, honestly. I was at an antique store the other day and they had theirs on like autopilot and it was just like randomly spinning. Highly recommend. I actually don't know what the name of these display cases are, so if anyone knows, let me know in the comments, because I kind of need to get my hands on one. Of course, we got some more action figures. Now this guy is, I think, somewhat newer to the antique store, but he has a lot of great stuff. Some really great collector pieces. For this next booth, I'm always on the hunt for a good pair of bell bottoms and some poly, so had to give a look. Again, I think another newer vendor here. But I did spot this adorable like piggy bank. Oh my gosh, he was really cute. Had some rhinestones. I think that one was done by Napco. And we are ending off with these cute little spoon rests. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next.